Hiya girls, we are Barney and Lukey and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He puts the F-U in Fugly. It's Barney.
Nasty. Oh, she's full of wicked bones. Introducing to the stage, it's the People's Pillow Princess. It's Lukey Luck. Roman.
Why did you give me an introducing at the top of the show? Mixing it up.
And thought, congrats. Let's show you off to the girls who don't know who you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. How you been, Lukes?
All right.
Didn't know where that was going to go then.
I'm just trying to think what have I been doing. But basically just playing Animal Crossing all weekend because,
oh my God.
You know, Nintendo had to drop that fire update.
I did not, but I do now.
I'm talking to the other
wider
people.
world.
Yeah.
Lovely. So we've just been working, honey, but should we talk some drags?
You got nothing to say about anything?
I don't really think so. I've had a lovely relaxing week and weekend, to be honest, but I'm now just chilling me tiny testes off in the office because it's very cold, isn't it?
I am straddling the heater, so I am fine. Well, let's take it away.
Previously on RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
I love in the background, it's just like,
carnage.
We played a highly recast and overproduced Snatch game. There were a couple of fruity faux pas on the runway, and after a very lackluster lip sync, we had to say adios pet to Sweet Baby Angels, River Medway and Theresa May.
The double hitter. Nasty.
It hurts.
Doesn't it? And it still continues to hurt. And do you know what I love? This season, I keep on seeing that some of the girls that are eliminated...
A couple of girls in here I don't care for.
How dare... Yeah. But not the girls that went. Is that they're really speaking up this season, aren't they? As soon as they get out, they're like, actually, do you know what? It wasn't that enjoyable. It wasn't that fun. And actually, this was really shit. And you've seen that from Charity, from River, from Theresa, like them be much more open about... And it's not all positive, but we move. Nothing but positivity over on this pod. Is that right, Luke?
Absolutely.
So we joined all the divas back in the workroom post-elimination. And I'm going to say it wasn't a very sisterly response. The personal apology from Crystal about an awful performance.
Well, yeah, it's quite telling that even from the back, they can be like, this is dog shite.
Even from the broad shoulders, they could read. No one was entertained.
Well, yeah, like if there's a double elimination, it would be weird for you to try and be like, oh, it was a really great performance though, wasn't it? Like, you have to be kind of like, yeah, let's call it what it is. Don't fucking piss on my leg and tell me it's raining now.
Is that an Irish phrase?
I think so. I hope so.
If anyone could clock, that was an Irish accent. Could you believe that they didn't clock the "Come Dine With Me" reference? The way that Ella was reading it. Like, he was like, you have all the grace and decorum.
Dear Lord, what a sad
Well,
little
exactly. Like, all the grace and decorum of a dump truck. He sounded like so confused by it all. It's like, oh my God, go. Open up a laptop.
Police.
Get on the internet, you know? Literally, just get on the internet, girl.
I could barely listen to Kitty's 3000th rant about not having a badge because I was so distracted by that little white bit of glue on the top of her eyelash. It was annoying me so much. Just wanted to reach through with a little bit of eyeliner.
Yeah.
Come on, Gil.
But I feel like, do you know, one thing I love about the big KSC is that she seems so supportive of all of her sisters. And when she talks about, like, I don't have a badge, I haven't been that lucky yet, that it never comes at the expense of others. She's never like, I don't have a badge and you don't deserve yours. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all the other girls are really ripping away at each other, but she never seems to tear down other people to talk about her failure.
I'm just really glad that we've wrapped up this little category D storyline that's been going on throughout the whole season.
Absolutely. Can you believe that Ella stood on the BBC and said, do you know what, they didn't really see me as a funny person, but who is the last laugh now?
Whatever. I'm not sure that is what she said.
She said something like none of them saw me as a funny person. Well, maybe the whole world is Stevie Wonder because I don't think any of us are seeing honey.
No.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, well, I'm glad she did say something back to Scarlett because I was literally just like, Dios míos, what is wrong with this little chickadee? Like a true, maybe not calling her a psychopath, sociopath, or the rest because
we should
support the queens, but just like, yeah, I don't know how to say it nicely. Just like you made Rue laugh because she told you what to do and you just repeated that thing.
And
like,
literally no one else laughed.
No one else laughed. And this lovely young lady here, Ella Day, has just won the challenge and you're still saying that she's shit. It's like, can you just please get back in your little box just for a second?
One person gives one little titter at a Scarlett joke and you cannot put that genie back in the bottle, can you? She's like, I am the comedy queen of... She's like running with this idea that she's like the only person that's ever made RuPaul laugh ever. And it's like, I don't know. It was just... She said, we made RuPaul laugh by far the most. It's like, Ella just won.
Yeah. I've got a question for you.
What?
Would you say that you're a ha-ha, yaka-yaka person?
I would need to know. Can you use it in a sentence?
Are you a ha-ha, yaka person? Yaka. Don't say it 3 times in the mirror or
no.
The spirit of yaka will come and get you.
I need to know what she thinks a ha-ha, yaka person is.
I think she means like kikiing.
But like, does she think she's a ha-ha, yaka person?
She thinks she's a ha-ha person.
And when she was
maybe it's like yakety yak. No.
It was like a boring person hasn't won the show.
Yeah,
like, first of all, BB Zahara Benet would like to say that. But yeah, just like it was just all of it. These conversations when they just get off the runway, I'm like sitting there like watching through my hands. I'm like, oh God, this is so it's also barbed. It's also like it doesn't. I don't know, where's the sisterly love?
My good long-time friend and insatiable power bottom, Anita Wynn, always told me that when you're hot, don't ever send that email or the message. You write it in a note and give it 10, 15, 20 minutes and then send it. Although I can never do that because she comes from the hot heat and my anger will be heard.
Yeah,
but
true.
yeah, like for the girls on Drag Race,
scorched.
I would say perhaps... dig your nails into your palms and just bring it out in
Take your wig off, peel a bit of glue off, give it 2 minutes. Yeah, watching all of the girls running around, screaming, whacking themselves with their chicken fillets at the end of that section it was like when you set your Sims house on fire and then delete the door, and they're all just like, ah! It was absolutely mental. I was like, what is going on here? But do you think that the shade is coming out in a bit of a distasteful way from the girls now? Do you feel like it's all a bit hot?
No, I wouldn't say distasteful. I wouldn't even call it shade. I think it's just people getting pissed off and saying it. There's not any wit for the shade or anything.
Yeah.
I just really wish Ella had finished, excusez-moi, had finished her thought. She was like, you're telling me I don't have a personality. I'm not funny. It's kind of like, my boyfriend does this all the time. He'll just like, just kind of phase out a sentence and expect you to fill in the last word.
Yeah. Especially when that's...
Do we do it like this, or is it more...
Especially when that's the really important part. It's like, they said I wasn't funny. They said I wasn't interesting.
Come on, Ed, I want to hear it.
They said I wasn't
Scarlett.
beautiful. But...
What's good, bitch?
Yeah.
And I just thought Scarlett must think she's Alyssa Edwards with all this backpedaling going on. Like, you defo said she has no personality. Don't try and say that you said she had one. You said... Yeah, it was just a weird Aggie vibe.
This takes me back to my original point that I feel like when queens aren't mature enough or old enough to be on the show, I feel really shit for her that I imagine that she's going to watch a lot of this back and be like, ouch, that's not, maybe not so proud of some of these moments, which I just think could have all been avoided if they didn't put queens on that are not ready to be on.
Did anyone even congratulate Ella for winning? I think it was straight out with everyone being pissed off.
Who is it that got TKB?
TKB. No,
Poor Trini.
I'm sorry.
Poor Trini.
Well, I guess we're moving on to...
It's a new day in the workroom.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that Crystal now feels comfortable enough to come into the workroom without the 56-step bronzing routine from previous episodes of Your...
I miss it, honestly.
You can still get to see it in the feshies.
Oh, that glossy Fenty high point. Come on. She looks very, very different out of drag as this young, tiny little boy. But there's kind of like a gritty edge to it that every time I see her, like, there's something quite gorgeous about it.
Really changed me mind on Crystal. I really like her now as a human.
Me too.
Not that I didn't like her before, but I thought she was a bit like one-dimensional.
Yeah, and actually she's someone that I could now champion for winning, and it wasn't a very fast-paced race, if I'm honest. But yeah, I totally agree.
Now there's something I need to discuss with you as a matter of urgency.
Is it the misdirected arrogance of them all in this conversation?
Well, I guess so.
Sorry.
It's also you interrupted me.
Yeah.
But just the whole like vanity. You're going to be wearing another synthetic wig again.
Oh my God.
Excuse me.
I've written it in capital letters. This synthetic wig slander. First of all, it's classist. Call it what it is.
First of all, if there's only one person who's even potentially wearing human hair,
Crystal.
and that's,
Yeah.
Kitty's literally just come off the runway in an out of the bag synthetic Webster
I was
wig.
going to fucking say as well, don't
We're
make
getting
us,
hot.
yeah, don't make us fucking call you out, because I know one by one where each of your wigs is from, and the fact that none of them use
and
human
Scarlett
hair.
with that piece of like
Trash. Call it what it is.
like Halloween $4.99 bargain bucket
Yeah.
wig.
Yeah.
And they're trying to act. Yeah, Ella was like, I'm sorry, but I think everyone here is.
And also, if you knew anything about hair, first of all, you've all got fucking worms in the brain. Let's call it what it is. Second of all, if you knew anything about hair, which clearly you don't, is that synthetic wigs are actually a lot easier to work on for styles than human hair will ever be. That like you can do shit with synthetic that you would never be able to do with human hair. So check your lipstick before you come for me. And let's not slander synthetic wigs, because again, do you know how fucking expensive a human hair wig is?
Tell them how much Lula Bundy sells them for.
Oh,
Shout out.
Shout out Luna Bunty, the lovely, she's the London queen of synthetic units. Of human hair units, sorry. But I don't want to hot her prices up, but let's say industry standard. If you're looking for like a nice 22-inch human unit, and not even like a custom dye, you're starting at £400. And like £400 per wig. And you want each queen, and all you faggots on Twitter are demanding that each queen have a different costume, shoes and wig for each
that could
look.
be potentially 2 to 3 wigs per episode, depending on mini
Yeah.
challenges and stuff.
And you could really just be hot stepping it down to How's Your Head and be getting fantastic quality synthetic wigs, as Kitty Scott Claus has been doing this whole show.
Oh,
Who is it
Benjamin
that said?
Paul.
Benjamin
Hey, we'll talk
Paul.
about you later.
And easy on the eyes. He's been on his Insta. Who is the one that said, "Are you going to wear another synthetic wig?"
Kitty Scott,
Kitty
motherfucking. Kitty Scott, motherfucking.
If you can hear
synthetic
this.
wigs.
She has, and also she's consecutively had like some of the nicest hair. I've loved her hair the whole way through. So it really hurts coming from her, actually. But
Just imagining all the baby queens panicking, like, wait, what?
yeah.
Synthetic's bad.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh god. Our sales plummeting. But yeah, I was not. But I just, yeah. Let it be known, if you are a baby queen listening to this pod, synthetic is the way to go.
Synthetic is the best.
Human hair, you've got to actually keep it clean, and nobody wants to be doing
I mean, synthetic does come from plastic, but then real hair,
It's
you
not
do
single
have to
use.
scalp
that. Yeah.
women. So
Well, exactly. And then I guess we head into the Maxi Challenge. So that is revealed to be the Miss Fugly beauty pageant. And what does Fugly stand for, you ask? It's actually, friend, you got to love yourself, which...
seemed unnecessary.
Yeah, I think they realised that calling like it fugly is like maybe not the stinky tea. But I don't know. But like also like friend, you gotta love yourself, even worse.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-look runway against the clock. How did you feel about the announcement of this?
I loved it. I was already excited for the Fugly and then the time challenge, but I would absolutely be screaming. I like to allow myself a good 4 hours for a lovely, relaxing makeup time. So I don't know how they are.
And only
getting
45 minutes
dressed.
of that are you actually doing makeup.
Yeah,
the
just
rest
having
of
a
it,
lovely time knocking about.
Kicking about.
And they still pressing them to have these deep and meaningfuls as well. I can't believe it.
Straight into a convo about trolling.
Have you been trolled?
That's the Bobby Norris impact, that is. I've never been trolled, actually. We sometimes get the odd occasional troll through Truffle Pigs, which actually is it's a palate cleanser, if I'm honest. And sometimes...
Girl, you could like cut the lace off your wigs.
Let me tell you, we've been at this game a while, and I would say once every sort of 3-4 months, someone will comment on one of our videos saying, excuse me, you're supposed to cut the lace on lace fronts. So thank you for reaching out to a professional wig company and telling them that the wigs that they are modelling in their videos, which belongs to other people, someone has bought, and
We probably shouldn't even be wearing them, playing around in them, to be honest.
No, special that makeup rubbing in inside them. But thank you, 14-year-old girl from Crawley. for telling us how to wear wigs properly.
It's like if you had
all the
like
time.
holding up an outfit on a hanger and someone's like, you're meant to take the hanger out of the garment before you wear it.
Thank you for your help.
There was that one time when someone tried to say you were molesting me on stage.
Yes, that is true. That is
He
true.
was.
Under the guise as well of neo-feminism. It was very strange. Being like, excuse me, I don't know whether you noticed, but that boy was touching that girl on stage and she was in a bikini.
Disgusting!
She is obviously too delicate of a flower to make any choices on her life, her job, what she's chosen to wear, etc.
Very strange, isn't it? The idea that someone would come under the guise of feminism being like, you've clearly made that woman wear a bikini. It's like, bitch, you're lucky she's wearing any clothes. This girl, you got to wrestle
Also,
her into
I was
that
wearing
bikini.
a fucking 3/4 length Mac. Like, don't tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me I'm a flasher and tell me I'm naked.
Exactly. How much was I creasing up when they were like, has anyone been trolled? And Krista was like, I think we all have. And Vanity went, I haven't. Tell it like it is, bitch.
I couldn't believe Crystal is a virgin. But then I thought, she's only 19.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, so many 19-year-old virgins.
but it's just funny, isn't it? Yeah, I guess because she is so like overtly sexual. It just
I
came
don't
out.
think she is.
Sex on legs. That's like literally her whole
I know.
thing.
And she said that. And I know that she did say that. But even when she said sex on legs, I thought, oh, I don't really think of you as like very sexual. I think of her as like gorgeous and like an entity. But I don't think that she serves sex because of the body. Is that what we're saying?
Just everything, the pain, the way she moves.
Oh, okay. It's just a fluid sexuality.
I always thought that if I hadn't have lost my virginity by the time I had reached the legal age of 16,
kill
then it
yourself.
means you're ugly. But luckily,
Wow.
15 clocked in, so
Yeah.
I was all right.
I don't think that's true. But
Don't tell me. That's how society raised me.
yeah. What about when Ella was like, people just say to me that I want to lick your big fat juicy ass? It was like, thanks for that. Really deepening this commentary on trolling here. People really do use drag to escape themselves. It's so rife with drag artists, isn't it? To like step. Crystal said, so that I can step out of the reality of life. And it's like, ooh, honey. I don't know. They often comments are made like that. That they're so happy to escape their boy self and their real life.
Humdrum.
And I think maybe that's the reason why so many people blur the boundaries of gender through drag. And we get so many gorgeous trans artists as well. No?
I don't know, no.
Just look at me, because I think if
'Cause
you're...
I don't think it's to do with sexuality. I think it's just
I
to do
didn't
with...
say sexuality, I said gender.
Sure, but I think... Whatever. I feel like when people say that, they mean more just like, oh, my day-to-day life, I'm just like
The humdrum.
Steve, and I do that. And when I get to this, people look at me and they think I'm a gorgeous creature. I don't think it's about like crossing gender lines or anything.
Well, no, I just think that, like, for a lot of people, that, like, if you don't feel that confident in yourself, then you get in full drag, and you're like, fuck, this is the person that I could be. And then you're like, actually, I don't really associate myself that much with me out of drag. And that then you see a lot of people cross over into like exploring like their non-binary or like their gender non-conforming side, because it's like if you've got that within you, then I mean, we know people personally that's like, anyway, this is a tale for another time. Where is the depth? That's my question to you. These conversations that they're having in the workroom they're so B-Tech entry-level conversations about gender. And
I thought you
sexuality.
championed British Drag Race for the conversation.
I thought it did.
That it did.
And then season 3 came along, and it's just, it all seems...
Where's me what?
But the main question on everyone's lips is,
What?
Crystal was contouring her biceps before she went on stage. Is that something that we should be doing?
Contour
Do we want-
everything.
I don't want to contour my bicep. I don't want to look like I've got
You used
a manly...
to do our arms for bingo.
I'm sure I was just trying to forge some sort of muscularity out of them.
I've
though.
got muscly arms, don't you?
You do. But I would do that as a boy. But as a queen, as a lovely dainty body queen, I wouldn't think that someone would contour their bicep.
What's wrong with Michelle Obama's arms?
Absolutely nothing.
Well then.
But I just wouldn't think that someone like Crystal would contour her biceps. I think she'd just be wanting to look as skinty as possible.
But she's not skinny though, is she? She's like...
She's sex. On legs. Yeah, well, true.
Strong is the new sexy. That's what they're trying to tell us.
Okay, or neither. Yeah. But yeah, very into it. Should we take a little break, Luke's?
Yes.
Lovely.
now, welcome back to the stage. Win Beneath Me Wings.
Sure.
They're getting
Sure.
dry.
Aren't they? Go on, you hit that sound. And Halloween may be over, but this Queen of Darkness reigns. It's Lily Munter. That was my one from last week that I forgot.
Oh, there we go. Very nice.
But we're back again, honey. Let's talk some drags, I guess. Ruin that stunning auburn hair. Such a gorgeous colour on her.
It almost distracted from her weird monsoon mum dress.
Why is she dressed like Patti LuPone at church?
I
A
don't
floor-length floral chemise on the main stage. Very
Sure, there was a bit of
confusing.
sheer. Sure, there was a bit of sparkle, but not enough for a
Not
drag
enough.
queen.
Michelle looked unbelievable, though. I really
Yeah,
thought
loving
she
her
looked-
in the burgundy velves.
Yeah, I really thought she... And I thought Michelle and Rue looked beautiful until they showed Alicia Dixon. I was like, wow, an angel. The
Not a
Wilson-
day has passed since she
Timeless
was dancing
deity.
in that NERD video in 2004.
Oh my God.
Because we were watching the old Mis-Teeq videos,
Weren't
and
we?
that's not her prime. She gets more beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, true. But
I
she-
reckon 2004, she hasn't aged a day since then, and
No,
that's the ultimate.
The skipping rope brows, the thin brows really had her by the neck, didn't they, unfortunately.
And a lot of trial and error with the hair colour.
Well, exactly. But she is so beautiful. It is kind of unbelievable. But we have our runway and we have our 3 looks Fugly beauty pageant. The first one is ugly swimwear.
Fugly swimwear.
Well, yeah. And the second one is the charity shop dash. And then the third one is Fugly but fashionable. Lukey, can you tell me what you would have done for ugly swimwear?
Yeah, similar to like Ella and Kitty, very sort of granny, frilly, full costume, and just a very garish print, really.
I would have loved to do something similar. I wouldn't have done this, but like I loved what Katya did in her swimming thing, when it was like floor length and the fishtail and the
Yeah.
nose clip. But then I really felt that because Katya's was so iconic that they all felt like a kind of a bit of a riff on that anyway.
No, because hers was very much kind of 1920s synchronized swimmer.
Yeah, but is that not kind of what you got with... That's kind of what I got with Scarlett.
Yeah, but we'll see
Well,
what I
we'll
thought
get
about
there.
Scarlett.
But I would have gone like crochet bikini, like crochet and like croc flip flops or something, like just like as ugly. You really think that it's in the idea is in the name, isn't it? Fugly, like fucking ugly as possible. Like if you're beautiful, maybe even inside as well as out, then it doesn't matter if you dress up ugly. It's gonna be okay. Do you know what I mean? And I felt like, did you really feel fugly from any of these?
Is that what you said to Jodie when she didn't get into Burgoyne in a pink poncho?
Wow! Hotted up on the pod. Jodie Powell, if you can hear this, I'm sorry, but I didn't make you wear a poncho and pink DMs to try and get into to Burgoyne. And let it be known, I've never, ever not got into Burgoyne. But let's talk about Fugly swimwear, I guess. So first up, we have Miss Vanity Milan. Thoughts?
This wasn't to me fugly, it was just crap.
Yeah. It wasn't ugly, but just badly made.
Yeah, I gave
Loose
it 6 truffles.
6? That seems quite high. It was loose round the puss and the waist. Like, pick a struggle,
Yeah.
I actually gave it 5. But next up we have Kitty Scott Claus. And what did you think of Kitty Scott Claus?
Thought absolutely nailed it. Love the wig, another Benjamin Paul, How's Your Head sensation.
Shout out to BP.
I love the cosy, I love the teeth, I love the walk.
Although I do disagree with that hair being fugly. Like, as it's on
I
its...
think most things from the 80s could fit into fugly category.
But singular by itself, that with like a nice, a lovely sort of scrunch jacket or something, gorgeous. That with a nice beat, absolutely stunning. I thought I loved the hair.
Yeah, same.
So, I felt that was only teetering on the edge of fugly. But I totally agree. It was all in bad taste, which is what I want. Like it was badly put together and just, what I don't love though is fugly being like braces and glasses. That's a bit too obvious for me. But loved this. I give it 7.
I thought these were the best teeth of the night
Yeah.
when we're talking about other things. Would you give it, sorry?
7.
Oh, I gave it 8.5.
Okay. Oh, wow. Big. Then next up we have Scarlet Harlot serving cat lady swimwear.
very confusing for me. The meshing of the cat lady and the kind of olden days swimmer wasn't a good
She said,
combo.
I'm serving juicy tits and cat. Okay. When she got on the floor and started licking her crotch, I thought, I'm out, for that reason, I'm out.
It wasn't fugly. She was trying to look nice, and then I don't know. I gave it a 6.
I gave it a
truffles.
5. I gave it a 5. It just didn't make any sense to me, but okay. Ella Day, then she came out in that sort of the pastel ruffles.
So gross. I can't believe Michelle tried to say it was nice.
Me?
It was disgusting.
She literally was like, I wouldn't been seen dead in this. I thought this looks bang on to something that you would wear normally. Like if you'd put that up and said who is going to wear this, I would have said Ella.
Yeah. I thought, it was just absolutely disgusting. I thought it was really good in that sense.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the walk was a bit of a weird choice, but it was nice to see a bit more personality in the girl. What do you mean
walk?
She was... It's when you put one foot in front of the other to travel you forward.
Often
or
known as
backwards.
perambulate.
Sure.
No, but what did she do? It's just I can't remember it at all. What did she do that was...
as if she was like a bit drunk or something.
Oh,
a bit kind of stompy.
Yeah, sure.
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Definitely, I thought it was fun. I liked the beat.
You liked the beat.
I thought it hit the category.
Next up, we have Princess Crystal Versace.
Sorry, this was absolutely beautiful. This was not fugly. Her face looked
okay,
gorgeous.
Okay. I thought you meant like the whole costume. Was that?
No, I'm not sure if it fits the category, but I gave it a 7.
I also gave it a 7. I thought, was it a year 6 costume? Sure. Was it fugly? Absolutely not. It was literally a brown swimming costume. Like, not even like a high-legged, well-cut. Like, it was a brown, just like
it's
run
got
of
to
the
be fugly
mill.
though, hasn't it?
But it wasn't like... I get that, but it wasn't like... It wasn't purposefully fugly. It was just, what I mean by that is it was just a leotard. Do you know what I mean? A leotard then with just strips of fabric. It looked like it looks like she'd made it in the time. Like she'd been given an hour.
I still think it looked better than Anubis's sea under the water thing.
But that Starved by Vodka squid wig, that was real something. But I thought her face looked absolutely incredible. And do you know what? Even though it was shit, it wasn't shit. Sorry, that's so rude. Even though it wasn't particularly well executed, it was still a complete breath of fresh air compared to just everyone else wearing just like the most basic things ever. So I gave it a 7. I thought it was good. And then next up we have a little run dash back into a new, it's not the workroom, is it?
No.
It was another little studio
shop.
And we see Miss oh my God, I
Lord
can't.
of mercy.
I know. It's like I've got fake teeth in. Charity Shop Chic interlude. And we see Charity Shop Sue.
We do. How are you in a charity shop?
Absolutely fantastic. When I was younger, it was the only place that I could buy clothes, really, because I was obviously living...
Was it hard life in Cambridge?
Yeah. Well, no, it was just like you could go to like the goth. There was like once a month there was like a goth market, and I could buy clothes from there. But it's like even online, like clothes weren't. It was much harder. Like I wasn't really like out here buying clothes off. It was like eBay or charity shops to go get some sick goth garms, So
I used to like the ones in like my granny's little town, Barnstable. Shout out North Devon. But like normal ones, it's kind of like with a sale. If there's no like order to the rails, I can't see the wood for the trees. There's just too much shit going on. I haven't got time to be flicking through everything.
It's a bit different though in London. Like if you've been like you said in Barnstable, like outside of London, charity shops are like different and next level. They're like in where I grew up, there was like 6 charity shops, and there was probably as many charity shops as like clothes shops. So it's just like they were, and people were just like constantly pumping them with things. And if they're well managed, you go into them and it's like all of the trousers are done by size. So it's like all the size 8 trousers, which is, shout out, that's what I was. Then I'd go and get like, just check what jeans they had. If they've got any fucking black skinny jeans, and then I'm done,
So the question is though, who are the local goths in your area getting rid of all of these things?
The older goths.
There wasn't some kind of
Program.
big brother, little brother thing.
No, not really. Well, I mean, like, but also as well, like, it was less when I was a goth, more when I was an emo, and then I'd be wanting to wear sort of like children's clothes. It was all very confusing. But I did used to love a charity shop rummage. And then also as well, as we progressed into the indie scene, then all you wanted to do was wear old people's clothes. So then it was perfect. I'd be getting them cardigans stat. How do you feel about Charity Shop Sue?
Well, like I said last week, I don't know the bitch. And
Wow.
this week I was expecting to be entertained, and I'm just left thinking,
Where are the jokes?
She felt like the kind of straight girl that's like grabbing the mic at the drag show, being like, "Oh my God, I love it." Like, does that not hurt you being corseted? Do you know what I mean? Just like making really loud
can
comments.
you do my makeup?
Yeah, oh my God, you're so pretty. You must think I'm so ugly. Why do straight girls love saying that? Like, oh my God, I'm so ugly compared to you. It's like, yes. Now what?
Is that a thing?
Oh my God, yeah. Like, very strange. I will never understand the hetero experience. But what I do really respect is Crystal starting an entirely new face. But also, is she just relying on the fact that her teeny tiny body looks fantastic and everything? She didn't even look at the rail. She's like, let me spend 50 minutes putting on a brand new face and then I'll find something. It was like, what?
Yeah.
The fact that she didn't even care what she was going to wear was like, okay, that's brave. You're
Well, I
bold.
guess you're thinking, hopefully this is just a little crappy middle round. They'll appreciate I've done the face because you know that they've been given the prompt for the swimming costume and the final round.
Yeah. Should we go into the runway? I want to hear what you think.
Yeah.
We have charity shop chic outfits. And first up, well, this is actually a bit out of order, but we have Vanity Milan serving you
You're out of order.
Satsuma Nini Leaks. What did you think?
Sorry, scroll down to the correct place in my notes. Really hate that blue belt.
You did.
Yeah.
It wasn't popping for you. It wasn't the accent you needed.
No, but the dress was very Lukey Luck 1.0. I gave it a 6.5.
I thought she really lucked out with that. She really Lukey lucked out with it because it just really fit her perfectly. Really looked like something she could have brought with her. The blunt bang on the wig was really getting to me. You know, sometimes when people I think it's when people cut a fringe in straight and then they put it on their head and the curvature of their head then, I don't know, there was something weird about the sides of the bang.
I thought it was trying to be kind of like a more 70s, like coming in on itself.
Oh, really?
Thing.
But I thought she looked, that colour, she owns it really, doesn't she? It's the most gorgeous colour on her ever. So I gave it a 6. Then next up we have Kitty Scott Claus, who, I'm going to come out and say it, I thought this colour palette on her, cute as a button.
Well, yeah, you know, I love me some green and purple.
You do,
I love what she
famously.
did with the silk scarves around the neck and the ankles,
Yeah.
tie all together. Hair was gorge.
Yeah.
I gave her 8 truffles.
8 truffles.
Yeah.
Wow, Kitty Scott Claus really coming up front for you this runway.
I'd like you
I
to
gave
keep
it a
bury
7.
your nose out of my scores until it's time to
It's
address
either that
them,
or the
please.
anus. You've
Well,
got
exactly.
I really like this on her as well. Yeah, I gave it a 7. Then next up we have Scarlet Harlot.
Oh, Jesus, Louisa's all over the shop.
Well, it was confusing because normally, obviously,
Was it? Is it just?
Well, no, because I've got my little table of them in the order, and normally they would they always send through the girls in the same order that they come through in the first round, but they didn't. So it was very weird that they wouldn't do that. It's like, okay, the first out on the first round is the same girl.
You're boring.
Let's move on.
Well, you're the one fucking spitting feathers
Yeah, I didn't
over
want your
having to
life story.
scroll.
Just fucking get with the programme.
Straight away, Scarlett comes down the runway. She's shouting. Presentation was exhausting. I'm finding it is taking a lot of energy for me to. She just shouts all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 4.
Again,
It's so bad.
It just, well, not again because I haven't told you what I thought about Crystal, but just very boring. At least Crystal had done something with her time. You've literally just put on a black dress and a white wig.
And also as well, like so pale. I would have leaned into how pale she is then with that pale hair, and then like it was just it almost looked a bit like goth, like because she was just
She's
so,
always very, very pale though.
yeah. So I would lean into it because it just like then she was so washed out with that hair color, and then with the black dress, I just thought nah.
Yeah, I gave it 5 truffles.
5, okay. Then next up we have Ella Vidae. She was serving, what was this, MILF at brunch.
Well, that's what they told her at a 1984 country club. She herself tried to spin this as just got out the boardroom. Honey, I'm glad you're not running my business. Yeah. And I don't think the purple, even though Alan Carr's obsessed with it, I don't think the purple hair goes with their clothes that she was wearing.
I can't believe she hasn't been clocked once that she has only brought she's brought exactly the same wig, apart from that Gwen Verdon nightmare. And there was another, and then she had that, do you remember that, like,
The Mel C.
oh God. She's basically every single week wearing exactly the same wig in just slightly different colours. Every single week. and it's not hitting for me. I'm going to say something that's very nasty, so I'm going to say it very quickly. She just doesn't have any style.
Say it quicker.
She
Sugar yourself.
And that's not IRL, but I just don't feel like we've seen it that much anymore. It's just like that when she put that outfit together, I thought, sure, it's all dog shit, but that outfit, like just like a calf length ruffle dress,
Tea dress.
Yeah, and then also, did you clock that she was like holding necklaces? I thought, they had to wear 5 pieces. I thought maybe that she didn't have 5 pieces, so she's holding one.
What, just grabbed it on the way out?
Yeah. So that she's like, well, I've only got 4 on, but I was holding a necklace.
Also, she kept going on about this pastel colour story. That dress wasn't pastel.
No, and neither was the belt.
So, and I was remember thinking, like, if anyone's giving you pastel colour stories, I'll go KFC.
Yeah.
Kitty's got 4s.
Yeah, and she said opulent as well, which is a word that is getting thrown around more than the word camp. Opulent.
I think she actually said upperlin.
Well, whatever she said, I won't burn it. Put your money away.
Alicia's face when RuPaul said, "Is this ladies who lunch on dick?" about Scarlett. She thought she was going to, like, explode out of her chair.
Yeah.
She wasn't expecting this.
No.
Good thing she didn't see how Lulu was behaving last week.
No, outrageous. I gave Ella Day 5.
I gave Ella Day 6.
6, okay, okay. And then last up for this section, we have Crystal Versace and give them nothing.
But she gave him a whole new face. So
Whole new
yes,
face.
it is boring, but props to the...
Props to your mama.
Something LGBT just happened to me just now. Like, I can't even make this shit up.
Basically.
Do you know what? One of them things where if it's done well, even if it's boring, it's still quite good. Do you know what I mean?
What?
And that's
Libido.
often with Crystal Versace, like, even if she doesn't make very interesting choices, it just looks so well
Right.
done, well executed. That then, but my main gripe with it is, what is that on your head? The wig, girl. That is not for you. Not with that touch, because she's got a tiny little doll head and then body. I need something else to balance it out. I just wasn't. I don't know.
I feel like she was happy to kind of take this round for the team.
Who is the team? Her.
Like her, yeah. So like this one will just be like, it's not that great, but she should survive from the other two.
I'd like her to win though, so I don't want her to take any. It was the new face wasn't necessary. I mean, it kind of was, I guess. But
that's what I was like, why are you bald capping? And also, extra respect for getting the whole face off, because it recently took me about an hour to get all of the latex and glue off the back of my neck from removing a bald cap.
Oh my fucking God.
And she had to do
Halloween,
that, yeah.
When I came home, I realised only at that point that I didn't have any balm cleanser. So I didn't have any like oil.
Guys, I ain't got no balm cleanser.
Well, you need the oil, something oily to break that up. And then I was like, fuck, I haven't got any Prosade remover as well.
This is after he ripped off his prosthetic in the middle of the street.
Yeah. And so then I was like, fuck, I can't get this. I was literally for about 3 hours just sat in front of the telly picking out lumps of Prosade from my eyebrows. And the other day, literally Saturday, I looked in the mirror and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then pulled out a massive lump of Prosade from my eyebrow. That's been there. It's been through every shower, every face wash, everything, just still in there from like a week ago.
She's a survivor.
Madness. But yeah, it wasn't really for me, if I'm honest. And then they go backstage again because
I'm really loving the Crystal Maze vibe of them just like dashing around from set to set.
Absolutes. Can I tell you what was not okay?
Okay.
Scarlett saying, 30 minutes, I'm going to look like River Medway.
It was a very weird
fucking wish on your best day.
Lots of people throwing slander at people that ain't here to...
The stunning beauty. Think about the face. I'd like you to recall one moment where you've gone, Scarlett Harlot, you look absolutely sensational.
I'd like you to remember how obsessed with her you were episodes 1 and 2.
Think about the face that River Medway served when she was walking down in her... I can't remember what the runway was, but in that red and gold.
The rich...
Yeah, Opperlands.
What was it called? Rich's Bitches or something?
Oh, yeah, rich bitch, whatever. But just think about the face that she gave there. I did quite like Scarlett to begin with, but very nasty.
So you hate her now?
No, I don't hate no one, honey.
Are you at the head of the trolling programme?
Me and Bobby Norris. She constantly is tearing down the others. And I think that it's that thing that when you're young that you think that like playful shade is so funny, but it's like you're actually just coming off because it's not very nice.
Yeah, and then wondering why these people you thought you were close to might want to vote you off.
It's more as well with her, the sort of it's one rule for her and one rule for absolutely every single show. She's like, wow, none of you love me. It's like, but you just voted for Scarlett. What about that? She's like, well, that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, so do you not love Scarlett? She's like, wow,
Scarlett,
trust in my words.
River.
Whatever. People.
Whoever. So the gals are talking funny on stage mishaps. We've told them about my dress breaking.
Yeah.
We've told them about my tampon hanging out. We've told them about my ponytail.
The string.
Off.
Sorry, listeners. The tampon string, not an actual engorged tampon hanging out of your undergusset.
Well, just let them people picture what they want to picture.
Let them fill in the blanks.
Fallen over very many times.
Very many times.
So I couldn't really think of any mishaps that happened to me, but I do remember back in the early days of Rebel Bingo, we used to really abuse the losers. So maybe like not spit on them, but kind of like spit at their feet when they're walking off of their loser. Once me and Anita, 2 shout-outs in one episode.
I know, you're
maybe she'd
obsessed
start
with
listening. We like pulled down this man's trousers, and then like his like whole dick came out as well. It was without consent, I must say.
I mean,
but
literal sexual harassment.
just
on stage
think
in front of
about
people.
it at the time, probably 12 years ago. Way pre Me Too. I'm pretty sure that was a karmic force coming to get him from all the nonsense he was doling out to women.
Wow! Remember that this stays on the internet for a lifetime.
You hear me, man?
Sexual harassment.
Are you
in the
glad that you
workplace.
rubbed up all those girls in your sleep?
Wow. We're going to move on swiftly from that dark, dark tale. For the fugly but fashionable runway. And first up, we have...
What would you have won?
I would have probably gone for a sort of Demna vêtement.
I don't know what these words are. I know vêtement is clothes.
Oh, the brand vêtement.
Sure.
So I would have gone sort of like Eastern European chuggy. Like lots of...
But it has to be fashionable.
That's it through the guise of vêtement.
Sure, I mean, I don't follow that.
So I think I would have done sort of like 90s inspired silhouettes, not like Paris Hilton 90s, like 90s inspired, like I'm thinking like boy band 90s.
For just oversized clothes.
Oversized clothes, maybe like sort of like a long ankle length denim skirt with like pointy shoes, a big like sort of like chunky belt.
This is Y2K, honey.
Y2K, yeah, actually, sorry. But what I would have done is, what I don't understand why no one does, is it's like, if it was fashionable at a time, it's still fashionable. So just go for like a look that is so butters, but you'd be like, it was fashionable in Y2K. Do you know what I mean? And I would have done that and gone for like a really, maybe actually, yeah, Y2K is more, but I would have gone it through like chuggy Eastern European. What about you?
Yeah, just something very, very 80s, disgusting,
80s. Yeah.
like ruffles, poofy in all the wrong places. Just no one can do fugly like the 1980s.
True. First up, we have Vanity Milan.
No, we don't.
She's who came out first.
First up, we have Ella Vidae.
Oh, grow up. Okay, I thought, chaps and plaid hatred in one runway. Okay, bold.
Well, obviously, regulars will know how I feel about chapstisation.
Yeah.
Against it, but I kind of feel like she actually did fit the brief. I gave her a 7.
She said, I feel like a rock star. I feel fashion. I feel cool.
This bit was a lot.
Okay. And I'm just going to, let's move on. I gave it a 6.
Next up, Vanity Milan.
I thought it was interesting silhouette. I mean, obviously we have kind of seen it, and obviously even when, what was crazy person with the squirrels on their head called? Indica.
Crazy. Utica.
What's indica?
It's a type of weed. Indica couch, the one that gets you well fucked.
I thought it was interesting, but even when Utica did it, UTI did it, it was still, she was still copying Moncler. So it's like a reference of a reference of a reference. But I thought it was interesting. I'm glad she brought it. It was something that was different. But question, what deal have the season 3 queens done with the devil over these Chicago bob wigs? These Dora the Explorer motherfuckers.
It seems like everyone's got one in black.
I've never been to a show in London and a Queen has had one on, and suddenly they're motherfucking everywhere.
Maybe they all got one in a welcome pack with like a pack of nails.
Everyone's
some
Roxy
Nadine
Hart.
Coyle eyelashes.
It is absolutely mental because they're so unflattering. Like, first of all, they cut you under the jaw, so they just make your face look like very blocky, and then they're also like the fringe often is just like such an unflattering length. And Vanity Milan this week looked so gorgeous in the face. Like when she came out, I was like, you're just a gorgeous young woman. And I just wish, I was just thinking, like, imagine how sick that would be if she just had like a really slick backed wig that was like flicked up, gorgeous, slick, easy, elegant. But I thought it was very interesting. I did think it was like maybe could have done with a bit more refinement. But shout out to her husband who's keeping her in clothes. I gave it 7.
Oh, I thought it reminded me of those kind of Victor and Rolf dresses we were talking about the other week. Yeah. I thought it fitted the brief, fugly fashion. Yeah. I gave it a 7.5.
Good. I'm glad. Who we got next?
Next up, down the runway, we've got Crystal Versace.
Okay. This was very Jeremy Scott for Moschino, which I believe actually someone said later on in the thing.
Michelle said Moschino meets Betsy Johnson.
Not Betsy Johnson at all. Get your references
Betsy
right.
Johnson.
Betsy Johnson. It wasn't Betsy at all, but sure.
What about RuPaul
it was more the blondes,
saying that Ella looked very Vivienne Westwood?
We'll get onto that. It felt so interesting. Personally, I would have loved it to be pushed further than just a coat. I just thought it was so good for her. So it was, first of all, it was the perfect intersection of, it was ugly as fuck. It was disgusting.
I don't think it was.
Well, of course. But there's no accounting for good taste, honey. I thought it was so ugly, but it was also clearly such a fashion reference. And I just thought, well, she fucking nailed it, didn't she? And I thought she did really well with her face as well, because she did no brows. She did no cut crease. It was like a completely different face for her. Loved her also not have it like a non-traditional, shout out to that wig chapel wig, like, and I just thought it was all on point. I gave it 8.
Yep, I thought, not sure if it's fugly, but I love it. 8 truffles.
Not sure if it's fugly. Did you see the amount of fun fur that was put into that outfit?
Don't care. I think fun fur is far more beautiful than real fur, Barney.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, but not in them day glow colours.
No, I thought it was a sick coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else we got next?
Scarlett. This is not the brief. However, it's a good character look. So it's been brought up to a 7 because the full look was I knew who that person was.
2 questions for you, Luki. First of all, fashionable? Question mark?
No, that's why I said it did not fit the brief.
At all. And then second is, do you think that in a post-internet world, we are using the term chav?
No, because we only recently found out exactly what it stands for.
Council house and violent. It's a term that was coined by the police to talk about people from violent people, supposedly this is in air quotes, violent people from council houses. So chav actually, unless you are...
Well, she did say, I am a chav, but
so
still...
we believe in full abolition here. We do not support anything that's come from the police. But yeah, it's not. I don't really think it's a term that we should be shouting around. But if she believes she's a chavette, then... I guess so. I gave it a 6. I thought it was quite well put together, but it didn't fit the brief whatsoever.
Sort of attention to deets.
I thought actually all 3 of her looks this week had made and especially coming off the back of the soggy lettuce. Like it's like she's just not listening to the brief whatsoever. No. I gave it a 6.
Next up, we have Kitty Scott Claus.
I crashed my car into a bridge. I don't care. I love it.
Don't get the reference.
I crashed my car into a bridge.
Oh, gross.
Your favourite summer song? No, I really thought it was going to get under your skin.
No, I don't even know it that much to know. Oh.
I love it. That was all of that completely not worth it for me saying. It had an Alessandro Michele Gucci feel, which obviously they picked up on. I liked the silly presentation of it. I liked that she had the custom knitwear, because if you were going to go down that Gucci route of like the sort of geeky 70s look, then actually it could have just been shitty charity shop clothes that she wore. Do you know what I mean? Just like very sort of pedestrian clothes. But having the custom knitwear, everything, I thought she elevated it well. I liked it.
I I didn't really think it fit the brief. Maybe when she took it off and had the mini skirt, then it was a bit more kind of like that vibe. But at first, when she came out, she just looked like she was row 3 at the Happy Clappers singing in the choir.
The Happy Clappers.
I love how much she went in though, so I gave it a 7.
Oh, good. Yeah. Is that all of the gals?
That is all of the gals.
Well, let me tell you, what was your zinger and what was your minger?
I've got 2 for both.
Oh, a lady likes a choice.
She does. She's a Gemini.
Hit me with your zingers.
Zingers were Crystal's Wig Chapel, the multicoloured.
Really? I'm really surprised that that's one of your... Tell me why you loved it.
The shapes, the texture. I don't know, Barney.
Do you know what they're 2 things that hair is really about? Hair, shape and texture.
That and Kitty's 80s Barbie.
Yeah.
Benjamin Paul.
That was also my zinger as well. I just loved it. The blonde crimp, especially with them weird finger-like curled fringe bits.
The gerbil's arse, as performance artist Georgie B likes to call him.
Guinea pig bum.
That's the one.
And then talk to me about your minger.
It was a toss-up between Ella's purple cloud and her weird flat swimsuit one.
Yeah.
So either way you look at it, bad day.
Yeah. not an hell of a day, actually, for the wigs. I love Vanity Milan too much to call out twice in the space of 10 minutes the Chicago Bob wig. And that's specifically because I've got a real bee in my bonnet about them at the moment because they just be popping up everywhere. So actually, I also am unfortunately going to go for the flat Stanley wig of Evie. But some things aren't meant for you. Let's head into the critiques. I really feel like Rue absolutely loves Kitty Scott-Claus. The way that he talks to Kitty, it feels very deserved, though. I feel like there's a genuine... She feels genuine, and the love that she gets from the judges feels genuine. I like it.
But I just really hate this... Yeah, this like long drawn out storyline. Like, when will Kitty get a badge?
Just give her one.
Yeah.
And also as well, like the girls that... The only reason that all the girls have got badges is because you gave everyone from the least disappointing group for the girl groups, everyone a badge. It's like none of the mothers would have won anything by themselves. So, I
really wish Scarlett would have taken them teeth out to talk.
Yeah, but it was all part of the gig, wasn't it?
But like Kitty did, and she managed to have a normal conversation with the judges.
Westwood, because it's plaid.
And also, is that plaid? To me, like plaid is like a plaid shirt that was tartan.
Yeah, it was like shopping bags. Like it was they have 3 fashion references and everything can be navigated through them. It's like if it is remotely structured or like based on a corset, which basically everything is, it's Westwood, or if it's tartan. If it's remotely avant-garde, they're like, oh my god, it is like Alexander McQueen has rose up from the grave. And then if it's remotely colourful, they're like, Jeremy Scott made this. Like it's so ridiculous. The constant Crystal Versace cymbal noises. It's like, we get it. She's pissed. It's like, yeah, I really like that outfit. And they're like, cut to her. It was literally like panto. It was like, yes, we get it. She's a fashion queen. She's annoyed. But don't you think that the fact that they all refuse to uplift Crystal it's just so obvious that to them she's the clear winner. It's too risky for them to stand on the stage. And I would.
Is it though? She won the first 2 challenges, and then she's kind of not doing that great since. She's been in the bottom. She had to lip sync
against who?
I can't remember. She's been in the bottom though.
No, she hasn't lip synced.
Maybe I'm thinking of her. No, the first one she lip synced with Victoria.
Yeah, we haven't seen her lip sync. She hasn't been in the bottom. She hasn't even been in.
But she hasn't been doing good. Really, since the beginning. I wouldn't think of her necessarily as a threat. I think Kitty more of a threat, who's a slow burner going upper and upper and upper.
I feel like Crystal is like, to me personally, is like the only person that's showing real, like, they could be the winner. I just don't think anyone else is as rounded. I don't know. But I felt like that was it, that it's just too dangerous to say on the main stage, like, to highlight how much, because they can tell as well that like the feedback that she's got from the judges then being like, you were made to do drag. You're a star. Like you have also, she's the only one that's been told things like, you have set yourself a standard that is just like higher than everyone else here. Like,
thoughts on Anubis Gate?
Like, listen, maybe talking to wig people about it is not the person, but like, congratulations. Like, if your idea of style and wigs and silhouettes and everything is so limited that you can't be like, yes, they are both wearing one of the most famous, apart from, you know, like Wig Chapel obviously does that like incredible like braided sort of like Elizabethan wigs. Apart from the braided one, that them pom-pom wigs are they're globally known as like a Wig Chapel classic silhouette. Like everyone knows where you got it from. And so many queens have them as well. Like if you're literally being, oh my God, you're like Anubis just because you've got a similar wig. It's like, okay, cool. Like,
but do you think it was to try and compare her to a queen that's gone home, or to try and make it seem, do you think there was like ill intent for bringing that up on the runners?
And even if you were stupid enough to do it on stage and then be like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have said that, like you're still being like, your art that you've shown on this stage that was supposed to be your creative output for this runway you look exactly like someone else. Like even if that wasn't her intent, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you're saying it on, like, comparing her to another queen is just like basically like sort of removing her creative uniqueness. So whatever, I just thought I was kind of a bit grim. But I don't really think Crystal Versace is really checking for what any of these girls understand as fashion or style.
No, I think they're all right with that.
But yeah, just I didn't like the comparison. But I loved Kitty Scott-Claus's unadulterated joy at her winning. She was so happy. So happy. And that was gorgeous. But what Kitty Scott-Claus's unadulterated joy at winning does mean is that Vanity Milan and Scarlett Harlot are sent crashing into the lip sync to go up against each other. Do you feel like that was the fair choice?
Well, according to my tallies, in at number 1, Kitty Scott-Claus with 23.5 points.
Fantastic.
Number 2, Crystal with 22 points.
Fantastic.
Then my lowest bottom is Scarlett with 18.5. And then Vanity and Ella tied on 20. So I would have had a bottom 3.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I hoped, but I was too scared to believe that we would get a Mis-Teeq lip sync. You know, Mis-Teeq are my love language.
I wish it wasn't scandalous though.
Why?
I wish it was like a garage one, just to be more UK.
What? Yeah.
But yeah, I was.
What would you have gone for? All I Want?
No, Be With Me.
Oh, the lovely Calypso oil.
It's so hard to remember because all of the songs are exactly the same. All I Want, then
to be
with me. Great.
Yeah.
But did you see that,
nightmare.
like, when RuPaul was like, to Mis-Teeq, scandalous, it cut to Alicia and she's just like, she obviously didn't hear because she's just like smiling. And then when it dropped, the like intro dropped, she was just like, what?
Yeah. Oh my God, this is the best. It was like, did they not go through this with you? I absolutely fucking loved the knowing look in Vanity's eyes when they were like, scandalous. She was just like, looked at RuPaul like, oh, I'm about to rock your shit. Like,
yeah, there was
you want to
like,
see a lip sync?
A girl from South London has to have a GNVQ in Mis-Teeq. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Ella, you don't stand a chance. When she
Ella.
dashed, you know,
Scarlett.
all of the gals. Go on, Blondie. When she dashed that coat at the beginning, I literally screamed. I was like, oh shit, okay.
I felt like Vanity was performing the song live. You know, when they bring like the energy of like, these are my words. Like,
Yeah, she was really like attacking the song. And that's when Scarlett was like smiling. It's like, there's nothing to smile about.
Those pirouettes as well.
Fantastic.
3 times. I think, I couldn't really count properly, but I think she did 6. Which, let me tell you.
What is 6 times?
I'm not really sure.
3 times 180. What's that?
18. 3 times 180?
Yeah.
Oh, 3 times 180.
Yeah, if it's 6.
It's
I don't know.
660. No, 560, sorry.
She's done a 560. Or maybe it wasn't even, maybe it's more than that. I don't know.
560.
Don't trust me on numbers.
I don't even know where you're going with this, but I just thought she was Scarlett, such a pointer sister. At one point, she kind of, I believe she laid on the floor and she was feigning masturbation. That was like the only mix-up that she did whatsoever. Apart from that, she was literally, I was looking at her and she was literally just going like, point, scandalous, point at me, point at you, point at them.
And that thing
like,
when she got on the floor, she literally made exactly the same mistake with Charity. It's like, okay, so in the main part of this song, I'm going to lie on the floor or do some other little thing and just give the other bitch the whole runway, the whole spotlight. It was literally just like cut to Vanity in the
oh my God,
down
and
lip.
she was
and then it's like,
onto her
this little one's
knees.
just like on the floor doing some shit somewhere
Yeah.
else. It was just like, you really played yourself.
And it was
there.
just, it wasn't the right vibe. It wasn't the right energy. She was very very much serving sort of Jocelyn, the sales assistant from New Looks.
Don't bring Jossie into this.
Six cider and black steep down the local Weatherspoons, just like getting her life on the dance floor. Do you know what I mean? It was like very, it was very like, I don't know, it's like she didn't know Mis-Teeq and she'd never seen the video.
She just don't get it. But Joe, who does get it? Alicia Dixon on the fucking ad-libs.
I said, get up. She literally...
My time, short time!
The one-time vocals live from the mouth of Alicia Dixon. I was literally like, you know what I'm like. I was screaming. I was banging the table. I just absolutely loved it. That more fire.
We met her. We did bingo at this thing, and she was also performing. And we met her, and she was just absolutely beautiful,
radiant.
gorgeous.
Do you remember? We were just like, oh my god, she's so nice as well. Such a gorge babe.
Didn't mind these drunken ragtag of idiots were going, excuse me, can we have this photo?
For some reason as well, do you remember you were literally in like a floor-length gown?
Yeah.
Very RuPaul of you, actually.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't love the episode. The episode didn't like hold me close to Tony Danza. But this lip sync was probably the lip sync of the season so far for me. I just thought the way that Vanity, I nearly said slayed, and I mean that in a very much more sort of
Christmas is coming,
medieval way, but she fucking killed it. As soon as she started with, you know, you wanna hang with us, and she was like hitting every single beat, and like, I was like, oh let me put my drink down. Absolutely, it was sensational, this lip sync.
I did quite enjoy this episode because it was something new. We've never had this kind of like time challenge before, and I thought it was quite a
I just didn't really love any of the runway. I didn't go any higher than a 7 on anything.
I gave a couple of 8s, I think.
Yeah, it just wasn't. I don't really think, since the days of Charity, I don't really think we've seen anything that's been ticking my boxes personally, but that's just my own personal taste and style.
Any fugly looks from the Instagram that you've seen that you liked? We saw Charity.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
She was kind of like a creature from the glue. She had like little like fins on her and gills and stuff.
I love when she does them sort of aquatic looks. But yeah, I mean, and then unfortunately from this lip sync, obviously we knew it was coming. Maybe it should have been 2 weeks ago. Scarlett is sent home, and she just thought, do you know what, one more time before I go, I'm going to serve you that lukewarm humour that you've been obsessed with. That like running, and I mean the whole thing, I just thought,
yeah, like the whole like EastEnders line thing has just been really overdone.
Really overdone.
And then just to be like, I'm going to give you one more Macaulay Culkin on the way, and just make a joke that's going to be now her bread and butter.
I swear to God, if we
that
go to a show,
life.
I was going to say, if we go to a show and she does a Macaulay Culkin Home Alone number, I'm walking out.
Just start throwing bricks at it. Throwing tins of paint. Right.
But sad to see Scarlett go. It's sad to see any of the girls go.
I thought she took it really well though when she was kind of just standing there. She didn't wasn't sulking, which you might think she might do based on.
I thought it was very justified for her to go, and I think she probably knew that she was going to go.
And to go against like the best lip sync of the season is kind of like, well, there you go. What do you expect?
100%. I'm just very interested to see if I can't imagine, apart from Crystal, that anyone would be able to go up against Vanity now.
In a sync.
Yeah.
Well, it depends, because if it's like a silly song, then maybe Kitty can give you some...
I've seen Kitty perform a million times, and they are a great performer. And they're also, obviously, as well, like a fucking great singer.
Yeah, but I mean, like if it's Barbie Girl or something, but Vanity can't be doing those spins and giving you Dirty Rice and... But
Vanity not only is a fucking great performer, like and a dancer as well. She can give you stupid. She can give you like, I don't know, she's a bit of a foreboding opponent. Is that what they say?
I don't know.
Is that right?
Let's talk Rose and Thorn.
Please, my Rose. That lip sync, baby.
Yeah,
fantastic
so
song, fantastic performance. Vanity, finally. I was just so happy. Like that lip sync ended and I was smiling. The girls be smiling.
Yeah.
Thorn.
That Charity, Teresa and Victoria all weren't in the page. I thought they would have all been great fuglies.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Mine was just the whole charity shop challenge. What a fucking waste of our time.
The bit as well when she was like, they're on the clock and she's like taking so long to explain it and telling them about her jobs in Paris and London. And
also just the fact that they're like, this challenge, we're going to give you some rails of just really shit clothes. And so the whole runway was just them in shit clothes.
Yeah.
Great. And they gave them an hour to do it. It's like, once you've picked out a shit dress, what else are you going to do? Like, the thing that cracked me up about that whole thing is like, no one even did anything to any of their outfits. I would have been like, right, let me take this skirt, make this into something. I would have worn like a different top to a different dress. Like, just made an outfit. I have a whole hour to do something that's interesting. And no one did anything remotely interesting. They just put the clothes on.
Kitty tried. She
put a top and a skirt on.
She made corresponding matching scarves.
That is true. That is true. But literally anyone, like all of the other girls, just give us niente. Listen, it's been fabulous as always, Luke.
Whoa.
But
slow your road.
Are we going to head into Dracula?
Well, I was going to say also next week we've got Bra Wars.
Yes.
Have they run out of British things to parody now? At
I
this
guess
point?
so. And it seems very strange that they'd be like, do you know what? Our queer audience, what do they really love? Oh, Star Wars. Let's parody that. Literally, all of the queers are going to be like, what?
And wait till
What film
there's
is
like
this?
4 people left. Oh yeah, what a fun cast
Exciting.
this is going to
Yeah,
be.
it's going to be like a 15-minute scene that's just like 2 back-to-back duologues. Like, oh, great. Talking about space. Great. Can't wait. It's been fucking fantastic. But let's slide on into a little bit of Dracula talk.
So the theme of the floor show this week is Weird Wild West, with guest judges Tracy Martel and Orville Peck for some extra added country grits.
What do you know about OP?
I know that my mum and dad separately are both very obsessed with him. I know he's a homosexual country artiste who always has a tassel veil over his face.
I think he's secretly, I know, I've seen people say that they've seen him underneath his mask and that he's really fucking fit. Question, if you were that fit, would you hide yourself under a mask?
Question, are you hiding your face because you're embarrassed that you're gay in the country?
No, I'm sure I've read before that he wears a mask because he doesn't want to be famous.
Sure,
That
but he's
like,
just too sick to not...
Yeah,
put his
he's
account
like, I
out
want to
there.
put music out, but I don't want to have to live the life of being famous.
So you instead become a very flamboyant motherfucker that everyone's dying to know what you look like.
Well, I'm sure like anyone that needs to know knows what he looks like. Do you know what
I
I mean?
need to know now.
Yeah, well, me too. We'll have to message him on Instagram and say, and thoughts about Miss Tracy Martel being on Dracula?
Well, we've had like Alaska and Willem and people on
They
before.
seem much more...
Down with it. I think just because it's a Western thing, so I think
Sure.
she's there for the
Yeah, I didn't
country and
clock
Western
that,
rather
really.
than the thingy.
Yeah.
The
I
ghoulish.
always say this, but I find that Tracy Martel often she showboats so much on show.
She does
just can't.
quite.
She can't
She's from
help
that
it, can
RuPaul
she?
school of
Yeah.
being on TV.
She's like, she always brings like Trixie. She brings like what Trixie does in her live show, rather than just be like, okay, I'm a judge here. This isn't my house, so I'll just respect the rules. She's kind of like, oh my God, I'm switched on and I'm Trixie. Just like the whole way through the show.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, like, put a cork in
Take
it.
5, honey.
Yeah.
So the ghouls were asked to create a look based on the Weird Wild West.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
So one thing that I would have stayed away from, which I can't believe anyone went near, no shade to our sweet Angel BB, is like can cowboy girl. Cowgirl.
Saloon girl.
Saloon girl. Yeah, that like weird thing. That's like, to me, like the most bait, like, I don't know, I just really hated that I can't believe there was like 3 people that kind of went towards that. At least Bitter Betty like did her sort of RoboCop.
Terminator.
Sorry, that they're all, all them hetero films are the same to me.
Oh, mascara and lipstick are all the same to me.
How do you even use it? But like RoboCop and what is the other one? Terminator and RoboCop. Don't they both have metal faces? Come on,
I've
give a
never
girl a break.
I've never seen RoboCop. I've seen Terminator
he's a
2
robot.
a couple of years ago in the cinema.
I
and that
imagine
was
he's a
actually
robot
really good.
though.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I'm not
metal
sure if he's
faces.
fully robot. I don't know.
But I would have gone like a big giant oozing like cactus.
That's what what's their name? The one who's upset because their little love interest went last week. They were a cactus.
Oh. How did I miss that? Or am I just
No,
like, it was because
just
it was a week
copying.
ago? Wow, okay, maybe I wouldn't then. I was just thinking, but I would have, like, I can't really remember what they look like, but I would have gone like huge spines, more like sort of, what's that film? Hellraiser.
Sure.
More like a Hellraiser, like, and then I would have had things like animals and stuff like stuck on the spines, like birds and stuff, things. But now that hers can't have been that good, I can't even remember. What would you have done?
I probably would have done like base costume, sort of like 1950s Americana, very extravagant cowgirl outfit, little skirt, jacket. But then I would have wanted to be like mauled to death, like stampeded by the horses. So just poor little dead cowgirl who's
oh my god, that's such a good
shredded.
idea. Or like pecked apart by the buzzards.
Like rodeo deaths.
Yeah, love it. Who did you love? I absolutely love Sigourney Beavers, who did a very, very stand-up reference to the Mugler Conigo red cowboy outfit, which is a fucking... And she had a reveal as well. She came out originally in that one outfit and then revealed to the Mugler inspired.
That is often how they work.
It does. Often you take one thing off to show another.
And God bless those breasts every time. Honestly, they're like perfect
titties.
Globe breasts, globular. That doesn't make it sound as good, does it? La Zavaleta was the challenge winner, giving us kind of like
what?
What are they called? Kind of like lone gunsman, kind of like poncho, big hat, kind of.
Jeepers Creepers.
No.
Very Italian Vogue, Alexander McQueen.
Yeah, who's just his name?
Lee Bowery,
abstract identity. The bottom two were Cocaine and Saint, who weirdly this week everyone had to take part in the extermination challenge, which was to ride on a mechanical bull. So not as bad as being buried alive.
Not as bad, but hard. It's almost better if it's like, we had to have leeches put on us.
Mind over matter.
Yeah, leeches over, and you can just be like, look, if I really fucking want this, like, it doesn't, like, having leeches can't hurt that much. But like a bull, it's like, if I'm not good at this, I'm just not good at this. Do you know what I mean? It's like giving them a fucking like.
Yeah, if I just sit on it weird, I'm flown off in the first second.
And they also, I don't think, as far as I know, they don't know the correlation between like this will make like. If you don't last long on this, like you're going to go. Like, why are they all doing it? Do you know what I mean? They don't understand what it is. But really sad to see Saint and Coco
in the bottom two.
Bottom two. I like both of them.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Coco Kane was exterminated. So I guess we're all doing cold turkey this week.
I know.
Do we remember anything from Canada? What happened this week in Canada? Last week.
I don't know. This is really just branching out to be a part of like, what other shows do we love? Let's talk about American Horror Story. But go stream Priyanka and Lemon, I guess.
Yeah.
But an absolute joy as always. And I guess we'll see you back next week.
Yes, I guess we will. That was me pressing the wrong button there.
You love it. By the end of the episode, she's just giddy with it, girls.
So please like and subscribe and follow and share and buy wigs and
send it to
troll us.
Troll us.
Give us a troll.
Also, as well, do you know what I was just thinking then? What I'd really like to hear is comment on our Instagram and tell us what outfit you would have done on the runway.
Please, we'd love a bit of Audie Inty.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I'd love to hear what you girls would have picked for your outfits. So.
Imagine if no one's even listened this far into the episode.
Yeah, it's like, wow, hundreds of people are listening every week. It's like, no, just the first 3 minutes, and they're like, wow, these faggoty little voices are really annoying.
Where are the jokes?
Not here, honey. Look elsewhere.
On that note, we will go. Love you, Kissy Christmas.
Love you, Kissy Christmas.
Bye.